Hey beauties, it's Nikea here with another Mom Life vlog. It's a mom vlog for you, hey, hey. It's a mom vlog for your life, hey, hey. It's a mom vlog for you, hey, hey. It's a mom vlog for your life, hashtag mom life. Copyright Nikea JaLynn 2018. I love my theme song. All right, you've already read the title of the video. You've seen the thumbnail. Today's video is about weaning from breastfeeding. So, before you have a baby, people always tell you about the wonders of breastfeeding, but they don't tell you about the negative side, which is weaning from breastfeeding. And again, everybody's experience is different. So this is my experience. So not to say weaning is negative itself, it's a hard experience, and that's been my case. So I've been doing research and just trying to figure out the best way to wean Harper from breastfeeding, because I got to a point after 18 months. Well, no, it was maybe closer to the 2-year mark. So like over this summer, I was just like, I'm done. Like, I don't want her to suck on my titties anymore. I don't want to wear nursing bras. I just want to be regular, and I want my body to be mine again. Like, I don't want to have to give of my body to her anymore. Like, there are things in this earth that can nourish her and sustain her, and I want those to be the things. I have done my job. I've done my bid. I'm done. But it's not as easy as saying, okay, stop. Oh no. It's a whole involved process. So I'm going to share with you all my experience and the lessons that I've learned. With most of my mom vlogs, my resource has always been Pinterest. Like, I go to Pinterest. That's my starting point. For all of my mom vlogs, my starting point for my research has always been Pinterest. Even before I started doing these Mom Life vlogs, like, I always go to Pinterest. I start my research there because there are people that do blogs, and there's people that have been through what I've been through, so I can look at their experience and then further research the information that I found from other people. So Pinterest is a really good place to start. So when it comes to stuff like that, I do tend to like to go to Pinterest. So I've been weaning in phases. So my first goal was to nurse Harper for at least 6 months. And we did that, no problems. So I nursed and I pumped. Sometimes I would nurse while I pumped. I would nurse, then pump. I pumped at work. I pumped at home. I pumped in the car. I pumped everywhere. I pumped in public. I pumped in private. I nursed in private and public. It was just, I was a milk production machine. Then my second goal was to breastfeed for at least a year, and we made it to that. Yay! So we made it to nursing for a year, and I was just traumatized. Like, I kept thinking like, oh, Harper's just gonna stop nursing on her own, and I'm not gonna know what to do, or I'm gonna run out of milk, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, that wasn't an issue. I do have a whole nother video like on breastfeeding and just how to get started in that whole process. So go ahead and check that out. I'll card it up above or link it down below, but make sure you check that out. So again, we made it to the 1-year mark, which was my second goal. And then my third goal was to make it to 18 months. Obviously we did that. And then my next goal was to make it to 2 years. Now, people would always ask me, like, once Harper turned 1, they always ask me, oh,
when are you gonna stop breastfeeding? Are you gonna keep breastfeeding her?
And I said, as long as she stops before she goes to kindergarten. That was always my thing. Like, before she starts big girl school, I wanted her to stop nursing, because however long you choose to nurse is up to you. And people can judge me all they want. They can go suck an egg. I know lots of people judge me and they don't like the fact that I still breastfeed my daughter, but I'm gonna do what's best for me, what makes her happy, what makes me happy. So we made it past 18 months, but somewhere around 20 something months, I was just ready to be done. But I started back at a year. So after Harper turned a year, probably like a month after she turned a year, I decided to stop pumping altogether. So I did not pump at home. I did not pump at work. I just stopped pumping. So Harper no longer drank breast milk only. When she went to daycare, she would drink almond milk at daycare. There was a little rough transition where she would only eat a certain brand, and she was kind of picky, even though she drank what we drank at home. Whatever. Harper is a diva. But there was a little rough transition for probably about a week, maybe 2, but she did fine. So I stopped pumping at a year. I still have my breast pumps. I have my manual one and I have my automatic one, and I just keep them on hand just in case, because there are times when I'm away from Harper and I can't nurse her and I still need to relieve that pressure, especially if I still plan on breastfeeding her. Like, for example, we went to a wedding back in March and we were only gone for like a weekend, but my dumb self didn't bring a pump and I was engorged to the max. Like, I was so scared that I was gonna get a clogged milk duct. Like, it looked good at the wedding in my dress though. I was nice and full and voluptuous, but oh man, it was so painful to sleep, and I would never do that again. So I do keep them on hand, like for emergencies. I don't want to get rid of my pumps until I know I'm done breastfeeding. So phase 1 was no more pumping and no more breast milk at the daycare. That transition went pretty well. There were no issues there, nothing major. Now the next thing was phase 2, and that was to cut back on the amount of sessions that Harper had. And oh no, actually the next phase was no more nighttime nursing. So once Harper went to sleep, if she woke up in the middle of the night, there was no nursing. I cut that out first. So that was a little rough because she would still wake up sometimes during the middle of the night, maybe once. And before 1 year, sorry, my air conditioning came on. I know that air is coming through the microphone. But before 1 year, if she woke up in the middle of the night, I would nurse her, because she would wake up probably like once if she did wake up, and that would be the only time she would wake up in the middle of the night. So I would nurse her to get her back to sleep. But after I stopped pumping, I stopped doing that. So I was like, you know, it just needs to, we need to cut down. You know, we're slimming it down. So I would only nurse her, once I stopped pumping, I would only nurse her at home. So when she woke up in the morning, I would nurse her, and then she would go to daycare. Then when she came home, I would nurse her whenever she wanted until it was time for her to go to bed. But I totally cut out the late middle of the night sessions. That was a little rough. You know, I would just cuddle her and hold her and try to soothe her until she went back to sleep. And also sometimes we like let her cry it out in her room, because yeah, sometimes I wouldn't hear her, and sometimes she would just cry a little bit and she would be all right. Or sometimes she would just want to be close to me or to her dad or to both of us, and she really didn't want milk. So that transition, that went pretty smoothly because she was already sleeping through the night. Sleep training video, go check it out. Sleep training mom life vlog, okay? I have that. That story is in there, so you can go check that out. Card it up above, or I'll link it down below. So then phase 3 of the weaning process was to limit the amount of sessions, nursing sessions, that Harper had throughout the day. So the number that I chose to get down to was 3. So that started over the summer, and that was a little rough because I would tell her no, and I would try to replace the sessions with something else. So if she wanted to nurse and it wasn't time for her to nurse, because I tried to keep her on like a semi-schedule, so it would be, I would nurse her once in the morning and then once in the afternoon. So in the summer, if she went to daycare, it would be like before nap time or after nap time, and then once before she went to bed, and then that was her cutoff. I tried to get her down to 3, but 4 worked out during the summer. So it was morning, like 1 before nap time, maybe 1 after in the later afternoon, and then 1 before bed. So we were working with 4 sessions, but I would still try to replace those sessions with things like give her a cup with juice or milk, not breast milk, but almond milk. And instead of trying to nurse, if she would cry, just holding her and cuddle her. And I would try to explain to her, like, Harper, you know, you're not gonna have mommy's milk. It's, you know, time to do something else. You know, we're gonna stop breastfeeding, so you're not gonna nurse as much, and you can't have mommy's milk whenever you want it. So I just try to explain it to her in plain terms, not in any like baby talk or anything, because I am much under the impression that children can understand more than we think. So I try to talk to her like I'm talking to you all right now, because eventually she's going to grasp it and understand it. She may not like it and may not be able to express that she doesn't like it, but she gets it. But we got down to 4 sessions, and then later on in the summer we got down to 3. So we are slowly getting there. My goal was to stop at 2 years, and Harper will be 2 in like a week and a half, and I'll be 30. So we'll see. Okay, we'll see. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see. So anywho, we're down to 3 sessions now. So Harper will nurse in the morning, then she will nurse when she comes home, like after her nap she'll nurse, and then she'll nurse in the evening. And she doesn't even ask for milk like in between times, or even if she does, I can redirect her and there's not a big fuss about it. Like recently we did have a big issue with nursing this past Saturday, and I tried to like replace it with I was trying to take away that afternoon session, and Harper was not having it. So yeah, there have been times when I've given her more sessions than 3, you know, on rare occasions. Like if I'm just like, oh God, I don't know what to do, Harper, you're just crying and you're stressed out and blah blah blah, then I'll let her nurse. Or if I know she's not feeling well, then I'll let her nurse, you know, some little extras. But 9 times out of 10 we're gonna have 3 sessions every day. And I don't really nurse in public as much as I used to. There may be occasions where I nurse her in church, but I'll go to the restroom because the ladies' room has a little sitting area, so I'll nurse her in there. But it's very rare that I'll nurse her in public now, because like Harper is heavy to hold up there. Like even when she's on my breast just laying down, it's just like, ugh, you're so heavy. The next phase is I want to continue phasing out sessions. Like I want to phase out the afternoon session, and then maybe phase out the night session or the morning session. But that's just the key to this weaning process, is just to phase it out one thing at a time. Just for me, I didn't want to abruptly shock her or even shock my system. And it's just, you just have to kind of feel what's right for you and your child. Like some people may be able to go cold turkey and do stuff like that, but again, with all of these things, you just have to be in tune with yourself and be in tune with your child and what works for you and your family. I'm going to Mexico in about 3 days, and Harper is actually leaving tomorrow to go to Virginia with my brother for 8 days. So she's not gonna have breast milk for 8 days. Okay. Ooh. So I'm excited. So when I go to Mexico, I want to like dry my milk up. So I've heard methods like cabbage leaves and different herbs and like peppermint oil. So I'm gonna try the cabbage leaves. So once Harper goes away, I'm gonna do the cabbage leaves, and hopefully that'll dry up my milk. I am gonna bring my manual pump just in case I need to like relieve some pressure, but I really don't want to pump because I just want my body to just like stop producing the milk. So that's the next phase, is to basically go cold turkey. Like I wanted to phase her out as we got closer to going to Mexico, because I've known about this all year, but Harper is just not with it. She's not been wanting to phase out sessions. Like there are some days where like she won't nurse in the morning, or she'll skip out on a session and she'll only nurse like twice during the day, but it's just not consistent enough to the point where she realizes, okay, I'm not getting as much mommy milk as I used to. So that's phase 4, is to go cold turkey. So I'm not going to see Harper from Friday to the next Saturday morning. So hopefully she kind of phases out of that, I hope. So this is not gonna be like a complete video, because I'm gonna have to come back and tell y'all like, okay, that didn't work. We're back to nursing, but I'm going to get some cabbage leaves. I'm gonna put them on my breast to dry up my milk, and then when we come back from Mexico, my prayer is that Harper will be off the juice. There are even times like when she's nursing, I'm just like, ugh. There's times where I've had to pull her off my breast because I don't like the way it feels anymore. Like it just really kind of like grosses me out. I don't know what that's about. I haven't found anybody else that has felt that way when they're trying to wean from nursing. So if you're out there and you watch this video and you're trying to wean from nursing, or you're nursing and you just have some aversion to it, comment down below, like let me know your experience, share with me, so I don't feel like I'm in this alone feeling this way. And it's not a feeling towards Harper, it's just a feeling towards breastfeeding. Like I think I'm just done. I just want to be done, and I just want my body back. I have exceeded expectations. I'm a young Black mother who has nursed her daughter up to 2 years. Like, what? That's not something you hear about all the time, and I'm very proud of what we have done, and I'm proud of my capability to be able to nurse her, and especially for this extended amount of time. But it's time to stop. Not every single time, just sometimes. Like she'll ask for it and I'll put her up there, and I don't feel any way before, but like once she's up there, I'm just like, but Harper is a trip. She's getting older now, so when she gets off my breast, she goes, ah. And I'm like, girl, if you don't get your on from around here. Oh, silly self. But yes, that is my weaning story and journey. So I will come back with an update on how the weaning went after I dried up my milk supply. And then maybe I'll take y'all shopping when I go buy some new bras, because once this milk is done, I don't know what size my boobs are, so I gotta figure that out and buy some new bras. So there's some challenges that may arise with weaning, or like your child like transitioning, because at this young age there's like so many new things coming towards them. There's so many like little transitions happening in their life, like getting new teeth. Harper is getting her molars in the back, and sometimes she's just super fussy because she has a whole bunch of teeth coming in. I've transitioned her crib to a toddler bed, so that's another major transition. The fact that we moved to a new house is another major transition, so that may be weird for your child, because I don't think Harper nurses because she's hungry. I think now she nurses out of habit and for comfort, which I don't mind, and I feel like we bonded enough. We don't need to bond anymore. Like Harper is stuck to me like glue. So if you are out there and you're ready, comment down below and tell me what you doing to be done with nursing. Please help a sister out. And if you are ready to be done breastfeeding, no matter how old your child is, if your child is 4 weeks old, or if your child is 4 years old, if you're ready to be done, then that's okay. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for the decision that you have made or the length of time that you choose to nurse your child. It is your body, it is your child, it is your life, okay? Ain't nothing nobody else got to say matter. And all of this, I just wanted to share my experience, and maybe some of you can share your experience with me, and in the end, do what's best for you and your child. Again, you just have to listen to your child and your relationship. So if I come back from Mexico and Harper is just screaming bloody murder every time and it's time to nurse, I'm just gonna pop her up there. I'm just, for my sanity, for her sanity, for our peace, that's what's gonna happen. So I will definitely be sure to come back and update you all on the weaning process. So this is weaning phases 1 through 4, part 1. That's it for me today, beauties. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something. I hope that I helped you out, and then I hope that y'all return the favor and help me out, because I need it, hunty. If direct me in the path of someone that can help me if you can't help me. Thank you so much for watching, beauties. But before you go, I want you to go down below, click that subscribe button, and right next to that, click that bell notification button so that you never miss when I post. Like I always say, it's free, it's easy, and it's fun. I'll see you in the next one, beauties. Bye.